have more mingle now, rather than you come down to the Karachi, because obviously travel is not the easiest thing. The key affiliations, I'm the registered migration agent in Australia. So we are linked with Department of Immigration and Border Protection. It's under Department DIBP umbrella. Then MIA, these are the the relevant associations. Then I'm also a qualified education counselor in Australia. So my number is H299. So you can check it online as well. So pretty much everything online out there. Thanks. We have a vision to give the best possible good services, like more professional, and at the end it's all going to be the customer satisfaction at the end. So we have a very good dedicated professional team in Melbourne as well as in Karachi and hopefully in Hyderabad as well. The good part of our company is we are 24/7 available. So like Melbourne is 6 hours difference with the time difference. So obviously if you have any question which comes up in the midnight, you can always text us. One of the representatives in Melbourne can always reply you back as well. So it's going to be a 24/7 services. Next. Next. So our mission is to provide the professional lawful advice. Immigration advice, we do it for free. So initial advice would be completely free. We'll assess your profile, we'll give you the point testing and everything. So if you have any issues regarding the initial consultation, you can always email us or contact us. Efficient and effective and efficient services, as I told you, we are quite techy. So obviously Viber, WhatsApp, Skype, each and everything is available. So if you need to speak to me, you can directly contact me over the Viber or these things in Melbourne as well. Apart from that, Karachi office is quite efficient to give you all the answers. Then we have the team developer and customer services. Every person needs to get a visa run at the end. This is the wow experience you needed. So what exactly you make sure that we will put 99 or 100% our efforts to get the visa thing done. Obviously nothing is like 100% guaranteed, but obviously the more efforts you put, the more fruitful results you get. And then obviously last the customer satisfaction. Then these are the services we provide. We have like professional career advice and counseling, which is pretty much free. Then we organize admissions in the best universities and colleges in Australia. So if you have any preferences, you can always let us know. Apart from that, we do the assistance in student visa, insurances, and the extension everywhere. So if you are in Melbourne, you need a visa extension, you can always call us. We are there locally to help you out. It's not just we have the office in Pakistan, we are in Melbourne as well. So say at the 11th hour you need our help, we are there in Melbourne as well. So we won't let you alone. Apart from that, we do the skill assessments and everything for the migration purposes, PR, nominations and everything, tourist visas, partner visas and so on. We do provide the business consultancy, but this is only for the onshore applicants who are in Australia. Because normally they do require workers to work for them, so we do give the business consultancy. Why Australia? This is the main important point, like why you wanted to migrate to Australia. It's a growing and stable economy. So normally if the recession around the world, it won't hit the Australia because they are pretty much secure out there with their banks and everything. They don't follow the Wall Street and every other, the fragile industries. Like in USA recently, the Wall Street crash was there, no jobs and each and everything was down there as well. But it not happened in Australia, so they are pretty much stable people. Apart from the multicultural, lots of heaps of Chinese out there, Indians out there, lots of Europeans out there, so pretty much a multicultural country. Apart from that, the education and quality standard is quite awesome. Like somewhere around 5 out of 500 top universities, 100 universities are from Australia, so which is a pretty good amount of share they possess. Apart from the ample opportunity for students to explore, even to the migrants, because the salary rate is quite high. It's gonna be from $12 to somewhere around $52 per hour as well. So it's a very massive, the wage you can get it if you get the right opportunity, right job. And minimum you can get $12 per hour, $14 per hour as a student. which is not that bad. Then there is a higher chances to get the permanent residency as well, because they are open for the permanent residency, those who have the skills and the point testing to be done. If you don't have that skill, obviously there is no point you can get. But obviously they have chance to give the temporary residency, but then you have to come back home. But most of the people do live there, and for a couple of years they don't come back, because Australia gives the opportunity to live there and earn and have your livelihood. Next. So these are the main cities and the states and everything. So pretty much the Australian structure out there. Anybody knows like which is the capital city of Australia? Any guesses? Alright, so whoever gives the right answer, I'll give the chocolate to them. Where are the topics? Yeah. So Sydney. Any other guesses? You can check
Yes,
it out.
yes.
You find some hints out there.
Canberra.
What?
That's right, bingo. Canberra. Most people feel like Sydney or the Melbourne is the main capital, but it's not like that. Just like in Pakistan, Lahore and Karachi are not the capitals. They are the biggest cities, but obviously Islamabad is the one they have made the capital. Similarly, the Canberra is in middle of Melbourne and Sydney, and it's a pretty small city, but they have made that city as a capital to make it more safe. The population is like 1/4 of Pakistan, so like it's lesser people, but we have bigger space. So there are lots of opportunities out there for you. Next. These are the education system. So like we have year 12, so you can do the year 11 and 12. We have one successful case sitting out there, and he just got the intermediate visa recently, like a week ago. And you don't require any sort of IELTS for that. So year 12 is pretty good. Then we have like education like diploma, bachelor's and master's or PhD. They do require IELTS minimum 5.5 and no one less than 5.5. That's the requirement if you want to directly get enrolled into something. And it goes with the master and bachelor's like 6 and 6.5. Okay, next. This is, oh sorry, next. Oh, back. Yeah. These are the steps. First you need to contact us. This is for what you are here. So first step is almost done. The second step 1B would be the education counseling, which I am normally giving you a presentation, but we do the one-to-one consultation as well. So this is what we have given you so far. Step 2 would be the admission preparation and submission. This is basically for the education part. So those who are from the immigration perspective, they need to bear me for a minute. And the admission preparation, submission, and then we'll get the offer letter. Now you have like two processes. One is the SVP, the other one is the non-SVP. SVP is expensive, most of the bigger universities have the SVP thing, but still the chances of visa getting is higher. So if you go with the SVP, it's better for you guys as well. But it's not like you can't go with a non-SVP, it depends on your financial and everything as well. Then the payment of tuition fee and so on. And obviously we have like offices in Melbourne and hopefully we'll get in the Sydney, so pretty much we are occupied with everything. So if you have any issues, you can always call and contact. Next. This is the minimum requirements, so pretty easy. Diploma or bachelor's, you need must year 12. Bachelor's degree you must, master's degree you must have the bachelor's degree done, and PhDs on the master's you need it. Minimum required score is 5.5 for diploma and 6 and 6.5 respectively for bachelor's and master's. So if you're lesser than that, you need to do an additional English course, which can be from 5 to 20 weeks. So it depends on how your English is. If you're good enough, you won't be getting an English. But if you do, then obviously you need to spend more, like $2,000, $3,000 or $4,000 more. Next. This is the financial requirement. I'll give you the short thing because this is a big chart. You won't understand that much. Minimum you require 35 to 40 lakhs Pakistani rupees to show. So either it should be in your bank account or you can get a study loan or something like that of this amount. So it has to be with you. Okay? So that's a financial requirement. These are the all institutes. So that's just a glance. We don't have that much space in the slide to put all our institutes. We are somewhere around 86 institutes under our panel with the universities and everything. So you can go through our website www.thinkhigher.com.lu and check it out, our all panel institute. So we are pretty much okay with any institute you want to get into. So it's not just about, getting in a specific college, it can be anything. These are the offers. So obviously the 7,500 per semester, that's the cheapest one. And then we have the scholarship with the Federation University thing in the master program. So obviously the tuition fee would be 11,800 instead of 13,800 per semester. We do have cheaper options as well. So by the time once we do the one-to-one consultation, we'll let you know about the option. Next. This one I think gonna be pretty boring, so I'm just skipping these slides. It's not that much you need to understand. Just this one, like most of people going in the higher education, masters, PhD or master of research mainly, diploma levels or the lower levels are lesser. The next. Lots of Chinese out there. I mean, every 5 people out of 10 you'll find Chinese. And apart from that, there are Indians, lots of Indians out there in Melbourne, Australia. Apart from that, Korea, Malaysia and Vietnam. So they're pretty much from the same East Asia thing. Like you will find them like similar to Chinese and everything. Next. Next, just skip this one. Next. Next. So these are the high demand professionals out there where you can apply for the permanent residency. So accounting and finance, we do have IT professionals who can apply for the permanent residency later on. Education and training, engineering, mining, nursing, and then electronics, bricklaying. These are the trade occupations, like electronic trade person and everything. Engineering is there. So most of the engineering like electronics, biomedical, mechanical, electrical, civil, all are in there as a PR list, within the PR list, to apply for direct permanent residency. These are our contact details, Melbourne office, Pakistani office. Email is out there, you can always visit our website for any contact. Next. Any questions you may ask now, because it's a Q&A open session. So any questions you may ask. Even you can ask in Urdu or Sindhi, whatever, I'm pretty okay with giving the answer. Canadian immigration, you need to contact us because I'm a registered Australian migration agent. We do have one staff in Karachi office who deals in especially Canada. So if you can send me the profile, I can assess it for you. We can do it for free, and then obviously we can let you know either you have the regional sponsorship available like Quebec or something like that, or you can directly go into the skill program. So I need to check your profile for that.
What do you say about Canadian immigration and how do you compare that? Means Australian immigration is
Australian, since I'm there, Australian is way much better if you get the direct permanent residency because they are still flexible, like in the point testing and everything. Canadian immigration is getting tougher and they normally require the sponsorships, especially in the regional areas, or they do have like skill program where they have limited sort of like similar to one of my clients who just got Australian immigration. They applied for Canadian immigration 3 years. After 3 years, they have sent the file back to them. They said that we no longer accepting the application. So that's where your fee and each and every time got consumed and you waste a lot of money and everything. For Australian, once you apply, you are eligible. They don't return your file. So down the line, if it's 8 months or 10 months, they will give it a permanent residency. So they're pretty quick with that one. That's the only difference.
But they are offering express entry visa?
The Canadian one, yeah? Yeah, but the seats are quite limited. So it's the first come, first serve. Like if your application is the 100 one, say they have 99 position, and your application is 101, you need to pay a fee and each and everything. But that would be wasted if your application is the 100 one. Because they will take the 99, rest they will leave it. In Australia, it's not like that. So if you have 4,000 applications, they will still accept the 4,000. But I can check it out if you can send me your resume. Any further questions? No? Alright. Thank you so much for your time. And if you have any further questions, you can ask Rahim or you can come directly to me.